Hello, traders. It's Monday, June 19th. This is an exchange holiday, so I hope all of you are enjoying your day off. We're going to start this video with a review of our previous pick. We're going to do a little market analysis. Then we're going to find a pick that sets up well for this week. I promise you, I'm going to keep this video very, very short. So our last pick was INTC, Intel. Really liked it. Look at this long-term trend line that comes into play. These are our automated trend lines. You can see how we've got another trend line that's coming into play right here that was breached to the upside. Love that. Here's a high plus. We can zoom in and see all of these trend lines. I just wanted to zoom out for a second so that you can see where they originate. This is a major long-term trend line that was breached to the upside on heavy volume, long green candles. Super important concepts because those are the breakouts that we want to see. What we don't want to see is poke, 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 poke on late volume. That's not the type of breakout that we want. When we see these long green candles on heavy volume through these major technical resistance levels, we know that institutions are involved. We didn't just stop there, though. I had mentioned to you that the market was getting a little bit overextended on the upside and that we wanted to use a strategy that allowed us to buy dips. We also took a look at the 5-minute chart, and I'm, by the way, going to clear the trend lines off, clear up the chart a little bit. I'm going to also remove the major moving averages so that we can get a nice clean look at what's going on. So Intel, if you'll notice the previous price action on a 5-minute chart, rally, 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 dip, rally, 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 dip, 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 dip. We know that this stock likes to pull back. So the worst strategy that you can employ is, oh my gosh, here it goes, it's breaking out. Buy, and then the bottom falls out. You're buying at the high of the day, and then the bottom falls out. If only there were a way for us to know when the stock is pulling back. Because if you look at the trend, this stock is trending higher, but you have to nail your entry point. And so what we were going to do is we were going to buy those dips using our new alerts. And the way that we would do that is let's go into our studies and let's overlay OneOSI. Please go back and watch my previous video because I describe all of this and the exact strategy that I'm going to show you now that you should have been using. So we're going to go in and zoom in on the chart, and we'll go back to Thursday morning, which is when the video came out. And the instructions that I left with you were, okay, this stock is really nice. It's strong. It's got decent volume. We want to buy these dips, and we want to wait for the relative strength index 10SI to go below zero, and then when it goes back above zero, that's when we want to be buying. So if you came in early in the day and you saw, okay, here we've got a dip below zero, I can buy right here. Well, that's right about here. You would exit the trade. You can exit on that weakness right about up here. Let's use the crosshair tool. See when this comes into play. So you're going to get an alert here. It has a little dip in here. Now you're in here. So it's a little bit herky-jerky. We'll take a look at what the market did, and that will explain why you wouldn't take these entry points. But later in the day, this was not a bad entry point because the stock had been able to find support. But here's an okay entry point. We'll take a look at what happened on Friday. Here you can see, again, the stock has really choppy price action. There's our cross below zero. It's losing its relative strength. Because that nice dip, you'll get your alert right about in here for an entry point, and that would have been a beautiful trade on Intel. So how do we take advantage of this? How do we set these alerts? So when you come in Friday and you see that Intel has nice relative strength, hey, this is a stock that I would like to buy. The stock is moving higher, but the market has been pulling back all day. I like that relative strength. I'm going to overlay SPY just so that you can see what was happening with the market. So here's the market open on Friday. Market sells off, has a little bit of a bounce. As soon as the market finds any kind of support in here, So SPY is the gray line. The stock bounces. Hey, that's the kind of price action I want to see. Market pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Stock holding its own still above the prior day's close. So now when you get another market dip in here, you're watching this stock and you want to try and buy that dip. Well, there's your cross right there. There's your entry point. Stock continues to float higher. Market pulling back. Great relative strength. Excellent volume. So when we're looking at the stock back in here, we right click, we create an alert, we select strong versus SPY, strong versus SPY on a 5-minute basis. We're going to add this, but we need to mark this little box because it's true and it needs to go false, and then we get the alert when it goes true again. So we mark that, we save it, and now that alert is working. And so to follow this through on the entire trade, it's strong versus the market. Now it's weak versus the market. And now when it goes back strong versus the market, we get our alert right in here. I would suggest continuing to use this same type of approach. Market's getting a little bit choppy in here. Let's take a look at what happened on Friday, and then let's also take a look at the longer term chart. So S&P has had a very nice breakout. Let's put our automated trend lines up, and all of them are currently out of range. We've had a number of nice breakouts though, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You'll be able to see we had a nice breakout right in there. Once the trend lines are more than 10 days old, or they are more than 5 ATRs away from the current price, we don't show them any longer, but I know that we've had a number of really nice technical breakouts here, shorter term and even longer term. So we get through this horizontal resistance and look at this. Excellent volume. This is the key. So back in here, when we had this nice little rally, we couldn't trust this bounce here because it came on extremely light volume. Light volume, is that bearish? No, it's not bullish and it's not bearish. We simply can't trust it because this could have easily reversed and the bottom could have fallen out. Institutions have a very low level of conviction, and that's why the volume's light. So no, we don't go shorting in here because the volume is light. We wait to see, is this a legitimate move or not? Well, now that we start getting into a breakout here and we start seeing an improvement in the trading volume, we know that the breakout is legitimate. So from a technical standpoint, I like the market. I think it looks good here. We just got through the FOMC statement. We got through the CPI. We got through the PPI. We got through quadruple witching, triple witching actually. Those are all possible catalysts for the market. And we had a breakout and we were able to hang on to the gains. So in a quiet, dull market, the previous trend tends to prevail and things are going to quiet down quite a bit. This week, we've got a shortened week, so we only have 4 trading days. There's nothing on the calendar that's really going to impact the market. We've got housing starts and building permits, but those really aren't going to drive the market very much. So we're in a news vacuum right now. And then the week after that, we're actually preparing for the 4th of July weekend. It's coming up that quickly. Well, that's also going to suck the life out of the market, and there's not a lot of news that week because the jobs report is not going to be released until July 7th. So that'll be the week that we come back. There's another little wrinkle in here, and that's that the 4th of July holiday falls on a Tuesday. Well, what are most traders going to do? What are most people going to do? They're going to take a personal day off on Monday so that they can have a nice long 4-day weekend. So that Monday is going to be a relatively light volume trading session, probably range bound, probably inside day. Hate to tell you this, but for the next 2 weeks, I think we are going to be in the summer doldrums. There's not going to be a lot going on. The big news is behind us. We've got the official PMIs coming out towards the end of next week. they haven't really driven the market that much. So my trading, I don't know, my trading bias right now is neutral to slightly bullish. I like this breakout in here. I believe that we're going to continue to move sideways, maybe inch a little bit higher into the holidays, but much of this move right here needs to be digested. And for the next 2 weeks, I don't think you have to worry about the rug getting pulled out from underneath you, but I also wouldn't expect to see a go-go runaway market. If you're long, super strong stocks, you can day trade them. You can even consider an overnight swing or two, but be nimble. Don't look for big gains. Look for those stocks that have nice technical breakouts and heavy volume. Those will be your best bets for the day. And then to even hold overnight or maybe for 2 days, and you should still see some follow through as long as you have all of those patterns in place. We'll take a look at the 5-minute chart. And if we go back to Thursday, you can see how Thursday was the day after the FOMC statement last week. We typically get one really good day after the FOMC statement, and we typically get one really good day during triple witching. So you can see that we had that on Thursday, and then Friday, we really moved sideways, took a little bit of the gains away. So some of the excess was worked off. Institutions have rolled their positions. We do have some window dressing coming up in 2 weeks, but not looking for a whole lot of price action. There's some notion that we could see equities see some selling pressure to the tune of $150 billion as funds rebalance. Many of them have to keep a fixed amount of assets in fixed income and in equities. Well, fixed income bonds have gone down in value. The market has gone up considerably in value during the last quarter. So you have to sell some of the equities and buy bonds. And so it might have a little bit of an influence. I'm not looking for a major move in the next 2 weeks. So I'm just going to try and find a really nice, strong stock. And I've got one that I want you to take a look at. It is on our strong versus S&P 500 on a 30-minute basis. I found this stock on Friday. It looked really good. And here's what I liked. I'm going to take off the SPY, although it does serve a purpose here. This is the SPY, and you can see how it was down. What was the stock doing? Compressing near its high of the day, and it held all of its gains. So the stock gapped up, excellent volume, preserved all of its gains while the market sold off, and then real close to the close in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, the stock shot higher on really good volume. Now, if we zoom out just a little bit and take a look at what the day-to-day price action is, you're going to see the same kind of chop in here. So we'll want to use the same type of tactic here, where when the stock spikes up, if it's got that nice relative strength, we're going to be waiting for 10SI to drop below zero. And when it recovers and goes back above zero, that'll present a nice buying opportunity for us on the stock. So let's zoom out and take a look at what we really can lean on from a daily standpoint. And first I'm going to take that study off, and I'm going to also take off the overlay for the S&P 500. So let's do that. Clean the chart up a little bit so it's easier for us to spot all of this. And we'll zoom in here and take a look at that daily chart. So this is the daily chart. You can also see that there is not a lot of upward momentum at any one point in time. We are not seeing stack green candle, stack green candle, stack green candle, but the trend higher is nice. Choppy, breakout, pullback, breakout. So we want to be buying these dips. That's what we're going to be using as a strategy, and we are going to take a look at where those longer term trend lines come into play. I'm going to zoom out and we'll see where they come into play. Now, if I zoom way out, you can see this is a major trend line that's coming into play at about the $168 level or so. We have a nice high plus here, breakout. So this stock should have room to get up to about $160 or so before we see a lot of resistance. Stock is well above all the major moving averages. So we're looking for that continued grind higher. I like this little technical breakout right in here. I like the heavy volume. I love the relative strength that we saw on Friday. So SPOT is going to be your pick of the day. And we're going to be buying dips and we're going to use our new alerts to try and enter those trades. I'll be doing a video Wednesday, probably before the open, and we'll take a look at how SPOT performed if we would have used this strategy. I think you're going to be very impressed with it. All of our members who have been using this new alert system have had increased success. And I think you're going to find the same to be true because the market is not in super go-go mode right now. So there are a lot of ebbs and flows. And if you find those really strong stocks and you can time it and get those alerts so that when the stock pulls back and regains its relative strength, excellent entry point. LRSI is another indicator that we use in exactly the same fashion. So another type of alert that you can use. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you in a couple days.
Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.